This part doesn't exist. Everyone keeps telling me this is not a salvageable part, this is not a serviceable part, this is not a replaceable part. You are done. But you know what? I don't buy into that. Here's what we have planned next. I was at the parts store. I bought some alligator clips, larger ones, to put up a thicker gauge wire to actually make my own leads to connect to the motor and connect directly to that 12-volt battery right there that is fully charged. That way I can test the motor actually outside of the vehicle. These are going to attach to the battery, and then these smaller, thinner ones are actually going to attach onto the prongs of the motor here. And that way we can actually test if the motor works and see, do we even need to replace this or repair it, or it's something else within the mechanism that's at fault. And that's what we're going to do next. But first, I'm going to have to show you how to build your own, essentially, test leads. Let's get to that next. The overall process is exactly the same as I've shown you in other electrical tutorial videos. We're going to cut a section of wire. This is a heavier gauge, 12 gauge wire, so it should deal directly with the 12-volt power from the battery without needing any fuse or any sort of reducer or transformer. It should work just fine without melting and causing a fire. Then after you cut your sections, I cut some pretty long ones here, red and black, so I can keep positive and negative distinguished here. Now you're going to do is you're going to take one of your ends here, and you're going to go ahead and strip them. Now with these thinner ones here, we're going to have to get this out of its little collar there, slip the collar over so we could put it back on, and it's going to go ahead and crimp into this little bit right here. And slide it through that little hole right there. All right, excellent. And then we're just going to loop her back like so. And then we're going to go ahead and crimp these little tabs down. And then that should hold everything in place here. There we go. Now we'll do our larger side. And the other side's a little bit different because it does have that overall kind of collar style here. So you pass it through. Still has a little hole that you're going to pass it through the bottom here. And then you're going to make a hook loop just like we do when we do a light fixture. And then you tighten the screw down. And that way you have a good, strong contact to it. So let's go ahead and do that next. Fish it through the hole there. Go ahead and make your loop. And then you go ahead and tighten this sucker down. And then you repeat with the other side. So I got my test leads done up. And on the bigger ones here, I wrapped them up in a little bit of electrical tape to give them a little bit of extra insulation here. Now I have it connected in series here with the test light to make sure that our connections are good. Let's see. Oh yeah. So we know that our test leads are working fabulously. Now let's go ahead and get our motor attached here and see if we can power our motor on.